We're not politically correct, we just have common sense.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unfaltering. Show of Support's Hunt for Heroes offers tributes and true stories of remarkable courage.
If these terrorists could come in your bedroom, they'd kill you, your wife, and your kids. And that's what these men are fighting to protect us from, these murdering idiots. And they're taking them out so that we don't have to deal with them over here.
Show of Support started it all just after the shock and awe bound a nation together. Now, years of footage portraying wounded veterans, deer stands, and standing ovations. Hunt for Heroes, that started as one man's way to say thanks, is now a series that many say is way overdue.
This is something I'll never forget for the rest of my life.
It's just a raw emotion.
It's been like a dream. It really has.
We still have 40,000 injured troops. It's going to take a while to get around to all of them, but there's no quitting. It'll never stop as long as I'm breathing.
Coming to Texas, I've always heard they're big into their deer hunting. So when we got to do it, now I can see what all the hype's about. All the people coming down here to hunt. You know, I don't blame them now. I always thought they were weirdos.
It's what mornings in South Texas were made for. Heading back to camp with a nice whitetail buck. For hunting guide Aldo Maldonado, this is routine. But for United States Marine Israel Moran, it means something so much more.
And I was like, man, this place is huge. And pulled up to the lodge and it was beautiful. Everybody was really receiving. I was happy to be here. I mean, it's like a vacation for me. When he brought those out, I mean, you know, it means a lot to us. And it just kept coming. All the clothes and the bags and I mean, it's amazing. I've pretty much shot everything and anything. But when I got to shoot this, I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I've never shot a 25-06 and I was praying it was somewhat close because I hate doing adjustments on the scopes.
All of them low.
Shot low.
This is all new for Israel Moran, a country boy from Yadkinville, North Carolina. This Tar Heel never imagined the twists and turns his life would make when he signed up for the recruit training with the Marine Corps.
I signed up to do this job. A lot of people don't choose to do it. I've wanted to do it since I was 6th grader. I've seen a Marine TV ad, guy fighting a dragon. Just something about that commercial made me want to join. So time came and I joined. All in all, you know, this is what I wanted to do. But at the same time, you know, we are protecting not just their freedom. You know, we're protecting everybody as a whole. A lot of people don't realize that. And I'd rather not them come over here. I'd rather just go over there and deal with them myself. We're obviously trained to deal with this type of situation, and people here aren't. So when something bad happens, they don't know what to expect. When something bad happens to us, we just take it on the chin and move forward. That's just how we operate.
There, it made it that time.
Made a little move to the right, but it's good.
That's good?
Yes.
It's a good feeling to know that the gun shoots, and it shot straight. I wasn't even expecting to go out that afternoon. I thought we were just going to sight in, and the first thing in the morning we were going to go out. So when they told us to load up, you know, dress out, you're going, I was nervous because this is the first time I've done this, so I didn't know what to expect.
Israel and Aldo head out on another warm November afternoon. It's another show of support hunt for heroes on the famous HerraDura Ranch in the brush country of South Texas. Israel is all ears and eyes, taking in every moment of this first in a series of special times.
Once we pulled up, I was like, oh yeah, this is familiar. I'd seen it on TV and other shows. We got to the blind and everything got set up, and I was nervous pretty much the whole time. I was ready. You know, I was enjoying my time, even though, you know, I didn't know what I was doing. It feels pretty good because usually you're waiting there for a good little bit. It gets kind of boring at times, but as soon as the first deer walks up, I mean, your heart starts going a little bit faster, and you're wondering when the next one's going to pop up, when your deer is going to pop up, and you're just ready to go.
It didn't take long for a nice buck to appear. A buck that needs another year or two, but it's a sight that gets Israel pumped up.
In North Carolina, they don't get much bigger than that. Most of them are on the smaller side. It's very rare that you see big whitetails. When I seen the buck, I was just like, well, I'm gonna get the green light first to make sure it's okay. And he was like, no, they get bigger. This isn't the one you should take. So I was like, okay, kind of dropped my head a little bit, but Aldo's the guide and he knows best.
Something else the guide knows is the deer are acting unusually nervous. And as the sun starts to fade, Aldo soon finds out why.
The bird spooked and the deer spooked, and the javelinas just came right in. I've seen them on TV, or hogs, but I've never seen a javelina. I kind of knew what they were, what they looked like, but I wasn't expecting them to be so territorial. They just ran off everything. So when one comes, they all come. They just ran off everybody.
Javelinas are the cleanup crew in South Texas. They brought an early end to many a Texas deer hunt in these parts. And it seems like Israel will have to wait until the morning to try again.
It was kind of disappointing, but I knew I'd have another opportunity, so maybe something better. I'm kind of an optimistic person. I'm always looking for the positives. Got dark, kind of upset, but I was just like, hey, tomorrow's another day.
It's getting a little crowded with a swarm of javelinas taking over, making this whitetail hunt a test of one Marine's patience. When Show of Support Hunt for Heroes continues. Stay with us.
I am from Yadkinville, North Carolina. I never grew up hunting. My mom was single, and she wasn't the kind of person to take me out there and shoot, so I just grew up as a normal kid, just going to school and working, and from there, 17 years old, I joined the Marine Corps, so never really got into it. This morning, we got up and we all enjoyed a cup of coffee, got into the blind, and it was cold in there, and then the sun started to come out, and the rest of the day was a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day for sure. That is until the uninvited guests from the day before show up once again. Now, to be truthful, there are worse things that can happen to someone hunting in South Texas. Yep, the skunk pigs have elbowed their way into Israel's deer hunt, but he takes it all in stride. Due to the unusual characteristics of this pig, that's not a pig at all. In fact, Aldo reveals to Israel that these critters are more closely related to hippos than pigs.
When the javelinas came in, it pretty much ruined the deer side of things.
The javelina has knocked the camera off balance, and that just about does it for Aldo. That's where a South Texas hunting guide worth his salt draws the line. They decided a javelina shoulder mount would look good back in North Carolina. So Aldo gives Israel the green light to help bring the collared peccary population back down. For 10 minutes, maybe.
I knew that all the deer were gone. I was expecting to go back to the lodge and eat breakfast and wait until this afternoon. And he was like, take a javelina.
However, before anybody shoots anything, the camera needs to be reset. And alas, an obliging member of the hippo family makes a fine adjustment to the video camera. Israel searches through the crosshairs for a mature trophy South Texas javelina, and he spots one to the far left. This is the best mature javelina in the bunch. There's a clear shot path, and Aldo is all ears, waiting for that Ruger that's only been out of the box less than 24 hours to take its first animal.
It really wasn't that long of a wait. He just kind of paced back and forth for a little bit, most of the time with his back towards me, and then he would just turn his head, but he never really gave me that full side shot that I was looking for. I've been waiting past 2 days to take something, so I took him. Yeah, I let a round down range, which means I assaulted my target, and he didn't move.
An important scientific discovery is reaffirmed here, that it's physically impossible not to break out in laughter after shooting a javelina.
It felt pretty good. I was expecting to run off, but after I'd seen the damage, I could understand why. It was exciting to walk up on them. The teeth on them are huge. Definitely wasn't expecting that. You really can't see it from as far as we were back, but they smell horrible. They're not the most pleasant animals, but fun to hunt.
There's not much to say about a dead javelina. Oh, to be fair and sensitive, they are a game animal in Texas, and yes, they have a role in the ecosystem and all that. Something Aldo and many hunting guides in the brush country can't understand. And most important, they do make great rugs and shoulder mounts.
Who would have thought, 2 years later after my incident, I was actually going to be in Texas on a hunting trip with random people I don't even know. I mean, it's something I'll never forget. I shot a javelina in Texas. A lot of people can say that, but where I'm from, a lot of people can't say that.
Plus, Aldo reveals that Israel's deer hunt isn't over by a long shot. There's still another day ahead. A long hunt comes down to a quick last-second move. When Show of Support Hunt for Heroes continues. Stay with us. It has turned into so much more of a hunt than Israel Moran ever imagined. It's the last morning, and hunting guide Aldo Maldonado hasn't given up hope for a big buck for Israel. Something has them locked in on their far left. But it's not enough for a green light. On this final morning on the HerraDura Ranch, as they wait for a mature buck, Aldo hears a story that captivates and humbles him like nothing he's heard before.
September 17th, 2009, we were working on a vehicle control point in Afghanistan, and we started taking sporadic mortars. A mortar team of 3, one of them shot a 30mm grenade out of an AK-47. It came over the wall and detonated on the Marine that was sitting beside me. I was peppered with shrapnel all over my right side. Shrapnel blown into the right knee joint, severed the femoral artery in my left leg, broke my fingers, peppered in the face, and there was altogether 6 casualties in that one incident because all the Marines were close together. It was a bad situation all the way around. My squad leader came in, put the tourniquet on me, and within 10 minutes I was already airborne. Landed in Camp Bastion, and I went into immediate surgery. I was conscious the whole time. Sometimes I wish I wasn't, just because of the things I had seen. It's never fun seeing your junior Marines or your friends bleeding and hurt and begging for somebody to help. So I kind of wish I was unconscious, but I remember the whole thing. It's a constant reminder I'm lucky. I'm even lucky to keep my leg or even be here. The Marine that was sitting beside me, he's not so fortunate. He's still alive, but he's gonna have long-lasting injuries that are gonna be painful for the rest of his life. It's a 1 in a million shot, and happened to be us.
Israel carries the shrapnel from a group of misguided idiots too cowardly to fight face to face with the American military. The only high point of his story, if there is one, is that they took care of the enemy that day, or rather they took out the trash.
One of my staff NCOs came to the hospital after my surgery and told me that they had taken care of the enemy forces that were firing at us. Yeah, I have about 40 to 50 pieces still in my legs. I still have some in my arms, got 2 pieces in my face. I think I've got a piece stuck under my right armpit. And then I have a piece near the bottom of my left ankle. It's bad, but at the same time, you know, I can walk. I had multiple surgeries, but may not run as fast or be able to pick things up as much as I used to, but still going, and if I could go back, I would in a heartbeat, no problems.
Back in the moment of a South Texas morning, Israel and Aldo stayed true to the task at hand, putting away bad memories and replacing them with all that the brush country has to offer.
A tree moves and you almost jump out of your seat waiting for it to walk up to you, and then of course you feel like an idiot knowing that it was just a tree. So it's stressful at that period of time, but it's enjoyable. Aldo spotted a buck and he was trying to get his bag out of his way and moving water bottles, and I could tell by the time he got lined up that this was the one that he's been waiting on. He was like, "This is your shot." I've taken a lot of shots in my life, but this was the one that I was getting to do for fun. So I was ready, excited, nervous, didn't know what to expect. I just wanted to make sure that I got the weapon out the window without hitting it or anything, because I didn't want to scare off everything. Yeah, I had no idea that I would be able to come down here on somebody else's property and take a deer this size, and that makes me nervous even before I pull the trigger.
Wait till you clear the other deer and then take a shot. I was shaking. I could barely breathe. That's the thing about hunting, man. When you give up shaking, you need to quit hunting.
When he turned, finally got my opportunity to shoot, did all my techniques, slow breathing, pulled off my round, and he took off. And I really wasn't expecting him to take off. I was expecting him to just fall, but he took off running into the brush. Aldo told me, don't worry about it. It was a good shot. He was 100% confident that we'd be able to find him. And he was just like, let's wait here for a little bit, and here in a minute we'll go look for him.
Let's go get him.
All right.
All right.
Feels pretty good to be able to shoot something a lot bigger than what my friends shoot back home, so. We walked up to where he had been shot and looked to see where he had ran off. Started walking in that direction, we started blood trailing.
Good deer.
It seemed like we walked around forever investigating everything, but come to find out we were only out there for 5 to 10 minutes.
Got him.
It was a cool feeling to walk up and see a deer that I never expected to shoot. It was something I never expected. So.
Oh yeah, beautiful deer.
I couldn't believe it. I thought he was going to run half a mile. So it was very exciting to see him right there.
This is great.
The first thing I did was kneel down and grab the antlers. I've never done it, so it was an exciting time for me. It's going to make me do it more. And I could tell that Aldo was happy that I was able to shoot one.
A big deer, man.
We were pretty much cold all morning, but my adrenaline was going so much and heart pounding like crazy. So by the time we got to the deer, I mean, it wasn't even cold anymore. Knowing that I'd came all this way, flown 3 different flights, and finally got here and got to do what I came to do, I mean, it was a good feeling.
A life-changing first hunt for a brave United States Marine, Israel Moran will take his first buck and his javelina back to North Carolina. But most of all, he'll take back memories. Memories made possible by the generous people at Show of Support Hunt for Heroes. Jerry Johnston started with 2 warriors almost 10 years ago. And on a chilly morning with a cup of coffee, standing in the rising sun, he knows it's all been worth it.
Turned out better than I thought. Yeah, I've got some pictures, I got some memories. I got a deer and a javelina. I got a brand new rifle. And a guy named Jerry Johnston that I'll never forget.
If you know of an American warrior longing for a truly unforgettable hunting experience, or for more information on becoming part of Show of Support's Hunt for Heroes, go to our website, showofsupport.org.